I want to show you how to set your machine up for the proper seam allowance used in quilting. Quilts are made with a scant 1/4 inch seam allowance. That scant means that your needle is just to the right of the 1/4 inch on your ruler. So if you'll take your ruler to your machine, put your presser foot down, and then just to the right of your presser foot, lay some sort of a guard. This is a guard from Guidelines for Quilting. It's a nice little guard, sticks down on the machine, doesn't leave any residue. I like that it creates enough of a ridge that my fabric can't go past it, but yet it's not so high that a pin could not go over it. Now lift your presser foot and put your ruler so it's butted up to the edge of that guide. Now I'm going to move my needle to the right, so that it is just 1 needle width away from being to the right of the 1/4 inch. So it's just 1 needle away. It's really close, but not a 1/4 of an inch. Now we're going to take strips of fabric that I've cut into 1½ inch pieces, and we're going to sew them together. You need to be very cautious too when you actually cut your pieces, that you actually cut them properly. If you don't cut them a good 1/4 inch, 1½ inch, you'll never make sure that the seam that you've sewed is correct. And I like to also use a high contrast fabric so that when it's done, I can very easily see if I've done it correctly or not. Once you have this setting correct on your machine, you're going to know what it is. Put a Post-it note next to your machine. On this machine, I can actually store it as a particular stitch. Now we're going to press that seam open. And measure it. The center strip needs to measure exactly 1 inch. If you do this, your blocks will turn out much closer to the size that you intended them to. I hope this little tip helps you with your quilt making.